I just wanted to run this quick little video. It's a minute and 50 long uh, of Shawn. Look, man, you know, we've talked about Shawn off and on quite a bit. He is a lawyer. He was a prosecutor or DA, I think would be more appropriate to say at one point, but he no longer does that. Now he is in, I don't know if he does just public defender. I don't know. He's still a lawyer, but he's a defense lawyer. I don't really care enough about him to find out. But point being, he and Nick Rekieta had personal issues and whatnot. So when Nick Rekieta and his wife and April got arrested, this guy was quick on the scene to discuss some of the legal aspects of it, which up until that point, I didn't have a reason to think that he wasn't, an expert in the area and qualified to discuss these things. So I listened to a lot of the stuff that he had to say until I realized very simple things he was either skipping over, purposely ignoring, or getting wrong. And so, the more I listen, the more I'm like, well, these are easily, it would be tidbits of information that you could just search. It would take 2 seconds to find out, and things that I'm like, no, that's not right. And I don't know, it just sort of blew my mind that someone who is in this field, and this is what they do, especially now on YouTube and that kind of thing, could get things so wrong. But, it's one of those things where it's like blind hatred of someone. And it is that with this. And I think he would probably even agree with that. But in this weird scenario that we found ourselves with Nick and Aaron, you can't be in the middle. If you are even slightly not supportive, but agreeing with one side or the other, you're pushed. That other side is your enemy now. You cannot exist in the middle. So he's also very active on Kiwi Farms, if that tells you anything, and that they've got like 200,000 or more. Hell, I don't even know, posts on Nick Rekieta. Like, it's basically a Rekieta Farms thread at this point. So he panders and kowtows to that audience. That's what he likes. That's his audience. So it makes sense between his hatred of hatred of Nick, and the Kiwi Farms thing and all of that he would obviously lean towards supporting the toe. He's done little stupid ads and stuff for Stonies and whatever. At one point, I remember Aaron talking about, I might try to get potentially criminal Shawn to come to the anniversary show and call the Naked Twister and shit like that. And it was like, he never came, but that's how close they are. And there's lots of times when Aaron has been talking about getting advice, or I got a message from a lawyer friend of mine, blah, blah, blah. Now I know he has like a lawyer friend that worked through his first divorce with Ashley and the HRO and all that, but there's been times where it's obvious he's been talking to Shawn. So
real quick, guys, I know some people were wondering. Apparently, the HRO hearing for Nick and Aaron and Patrick Melton is still fucking going, which I am completely baffled. How a fucking protection order hearing, we're now going into like the third day of evidence on one part of it. I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't really get how they can do this. They really want the judge to know how much goo they ate from each other and how much gay sex they've had with each other, I guess. A lot of it was behind closed doors. Apparently Nick drove the Mustang there. He still has the law.
Now this is interesting too. From what I understand, this image came from Kay, who was the chick that went on with Will Heron. She went on Kino Casino, other places. We interviewed her first, believe it or not, last August. When we were still trying to figure out what was going on, she was going to all the different hearings of Nick Rekieta when it came to, she said her main interest was the children. No, what Real says Doc's not. She's put herself out there, put her face. We actually took 3 days to make sure she was comfortable, to keep her anonymous, etc. And then she was the total. She came on with her face the very next time on Will's show, like I say, in Kino Casino, etc. So people know who she is. But she's also the one of the two people who were able to see the body cam footage of Nick's house. And that's a whole separate subject, but she's the one that took this image. And I just think it's really rich, because she's one of the people that's in the camp of, fussing at people for going and taking images or drawing, court drawings of or court sketches or whatever. Like they can't stand it when someone goes to a public place like the courthouse to report back on what's happening with when it's Aaron. But she has no problem going and doing the exact same thing. So I just think it's rich that that's where this image came from. That's, like I say, don't get me going. I got other shit to be mad about this morning. But anyway, here's that. Yeah, if you can see it, his tag says Law Pope. This guy, you know what I mean?
Pope plates. He apparently borrowed Kayla's pants to go
Yeah,
to
no
the
doubt.
hearing.
Look, I'm going to, come on, man. He's not wrong. For me, it's the white shoes. I see he's got the white belt, but the white shoes, I don't even know what those are. What are those? Are those New Balance? What are those? It just is not. It's a strange look, but
and yeah, that's kind of it. That's all we know so far. Also, apparently, Patrick Melton was retarded enough to acknowledge that he was speaking to Nick.
All right, I'm getting text from Nick Ricada.
They have the same lawyer. What's the problem? There's no gag order saying that Nick and Patrick can't talk to each other about the one person that's coming after them over the same thing, right? Like, hold on. What is his fucking point about this? Sorry, y'all, I'm telling you. I'm on one today.
Also, apparently, Patrick Melton was retarded enough to acknowledge that he was speaking to Nick.
All right, I'm getting text from Nick Ricada.
So what? What if he was sending him a recipe?
Okay, he's telling me I cannot say this publicly.
I mean, technically, and this is the video, I think it is, this was the day of the hearing and whatever, he was still in court. What is the problem with that? They have the same lawyer, and Patrick had scheduled a date, the same date as Nick did, for a scheduling hearing further out. Patrick went with the Zoom meeting and all that, and he said he was there for like a minute and a half, and they booted him out, and they were like, hey, we'll let you know. We're going to push it out further, whatever. And there was no new date set. But I don't understand the problem here. So he can't talk to, what if he's letting him know, hey, I talked to our lawyer, and we're going to have a meeting at 2:00? Like, fuck out of here. You're a lawyer. Like, Shawn, what are you doing? You can't hate that whatever Nick did to you. Like, you've got to be fair. Just be fair.
So I got an update.
Holy shit.
And
man.
I cannot talk about it.
Which, speaking to witnesses that, and all that you're embargoed through, or how that's going to work at your fucking hearing, that you've been cooperating with people. Apparently that had happened. So that was kind of retarded from them. But hey, whatever. So is the judge trying to make the gala?
All right. Moody said his issues, they're potential witnesses in each other's cases. All right. And that's fine. Right. But what if all he said was, hey, this is going on longer than I thought, or I know that we were going to talk after I get done with my hearing all together with our lawyer. Like, we don't know what the message was, but I hear you.
Silver's,
I feel like that would get kind of hairy anyway. You're being represented by the same lawyer, and there's the same dude that's coming after you as Aaron. Surely, like, there's evidence in both of those cases that sort of have are going to be used or potentially used in the other case. Like, there's a lot of crossover with that. So I don't know. I hear you, but I'm not a lawyer. This guy is, but he's gotten a lot wrong before. So
make up. I think he was trying to force a settlement because it's easier if you guys both agree to like a mutual consent. We both agree to be bound by an HRO. Then just don't have to worry about it. Right? This is probably some of the gayest shit he's had to do in his entire career.
I will say this. So, I don't know, but if I had to guess, I would say I don't see Nick or Patrick, either one, bowing down and being like, sure, yeah, no problem. Like, the thing about it is neither one of them have been contacting Aaron, or vice versa. As far as I know, I don't think Aaron's reached out to Patrick or Nick. And other than, I guess the last time Patrick may have tried to make contact with him is whenever Aaron said, hey, I want to fight you in Vegas. And Patrick emailed him and was like, yep, we're good. We will. What's up? Like, set it up. But who knows? Moody says, neither of them should agree to mutual HROs. Aaron lies to the courts. No way would you want someone like that with a set of conditions that you... Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't see either Patrick or Nick being like, sure, that sounds great, especially with the accusations and the lies that were put in the HROs. We've read them several times, and they're easily provably false on a couple of things. So